So when did you first start using Roomsy?
Actually, the owner found Roomsy online. He
Got
was
it.
looking for a less expensive um, system for this small facility that we have. And we had discussed it. I had worked at another facility, and they used some kind of very, very detailed POS system, et cetera, et cetera. And, and we don't need that here.
Right.
And there's a horrible, horrible learning curve for things like that. And so he found Roomsy, and he looked at it, and then he showed it to me. And the reason he chose it was because of its simplicity. It's very straightforward. There's not really a hidden agenda in here. You
Right.
know, it's well thought out, in our opinion.
Got it. So what would you say was the main problem that you were trying to solve? Because you did have a solution in place beforehand, right?
We did have something in place. we signed up with Roomsy when the facility was still closed in transition after he purchased the property.
Got it.
So we weren't even letting the rooms at that point.
Yes. Yes, understood.
And what we were trying to avoid was a difficult learning curve because this is it's a seasonal business for the most part.
Right.
So we have transitional or transient, I won't say transient, it indicates something else, but in the summertime we hire short-term people.
Right.
And we don't have a long training process. So does that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So you wanted to find something that would be easy to train your staff on. That was a big
Absolutely.
priority.
Absolutely. Something that's also the booking screen on Roomsy is clear. It's very readable. You know exactly what's on there. You know where the reservations are going. You know, it's just like drawing a picture. It's awesome.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad to hear that. That's really great feedback. And so if you could go back, I guess at the time that you were looking at Roomsy, you had investigated some other solutions as well.
Yeah.
What did you find specifically about Roomsy that made it jump out as the ideal solution for you?
It became the ideal solution because it didn't have a lot of extra programming that was not necessary for us.
Right.
We don't have a restaurant. We don't have this and that and the other, you know. And that is why we signed on.
Got it. Okay, so
There's
you found
not a
just
lot of extra programs that we don't need.
Got it. So you were looking for just a simple solution, and that's what you found in Roomsy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And so since then, I guess, since bringing Roomsy on board, well, I guess, how has the business improved since that time? Like, can you kind of compare what it was like before Roomsy to what it was like afterwards?
Before Roomsy, I worked here before the gentleman who owns the property now bought it.
Right.
And it was harder to keep the mistake level down on the previous program.
Okay.
So, and as you might imagine, if you muck up somebody's reservation and they're expecting to have a room for the night and they don't, that gets really kind of ugly pretty quick.
Right, of course.
And that happened with the previous. I mean, it can happen anytime if people don't do what they're supposed to do. But with the previous stuff, like the reports and so on and so forth, it was all very difficult to pull that information out of the computer.
Got it. Okay.
I guess almost any answer that I'm going to give you is simplicity, simplicity, simplicity.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that's one of the things that we really pride ourselves on at providing at Roomsy. Now, a bit of a more difficult question, maybe. Could you quantify the difference that Roomsy has made, like in terms of the number of hours that it saved you, in terms of, you'd mentioned the uh, like the headache that had been caused by user errors or mistakes being made in the system.
Yeah.
Is there any way that you could quantify that difference in terms of what Roomsy's meant for the business?
Well, I check all the reservations after they're made. So the time that I have to spend doing that is significantly less. If there's a discrepancy, it's obvious immediately.
Right.
So the back end time is less, and the reports for balancing and so on. If there's an error, if you haven't entered a payment someone's made to you and that kind of thing, you know right away.
Right.
And before you didn't know, whoever's on desk knows right away if they've made an error, because they can see in their self-check that it doesn't balance.
Yes.
Where before, that wouldn't be caught until whoever was doing the bookkeeping balanced the day's work, which, could be a week from now, depending on timelines and so on. Did that
Right.
answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. So, in terms of the times that you save, would you be able to quantify it? And how many hours a
In
week
hours?
does Roomsy save you?
Oh, good Lord. Well, this is a very small facility, so I would say 5 to 10 hours a week.
Wow, that's pretty significant.
Yeah, and because the previous reports, you couldn't see what had been done unless you were very, very familiar with this software. So the general individual just couldn't balance themselves. It wasn't straightforward. It didn't show you what you needed to know. They just
Right.
printed out their reports, attached their receipts to them, and hoped for the best.
Got it. Got it. Wow, amazing. And would you recommend Roomsy to other people in the industry who are looking for a solution?
I would.
Wow, fantastic. Well, thanks. I mean, I think that's the majority of the questions that we were really looking to get through there. Is there anything else that you'd like to add to it about sort of your experience with it, with the company, with working with Roomsy as a team or as a software platform?
Oh, I call either Raj or Gary.
Glenn?
Glenn, sorry. I don't have
That's
to call
okay.
him very often. But when I
Yeah.
call anyone, they're on it right on. They get the fix done now. And there have been a few hiccups, I think, just in the general development of the software.
Mm-hmm.
But they work on it, or y'all work on it. You don't ignore me,
Of course not.
No, but, sometimes that happens. Or if you have a smaller account with someone, sometimes they don't give you as quick of an attention as you might need.
Sure.
Because you're a small account. And so that service has never been a problem. It's always been very quick and understandable, I can understand what they're trying to tell me, and they try to understand what I'm trying to say in a generic manner.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, awesome. I'm glad to hear that feedback. It's always nice to hear nice things about us from our clients. So yeah, thank you so much for making the time for this. I really appreciate it, and certainly hope that we continue working for you guys in the future. And if you ever need anything, we're always here.
Could I make a request?
Sure.
or a suggestion.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you could find a way to put like outside sales, like if my owner wants to have tchotchkes and stuff to sell, a place where we didn't have to attach it to someone's account in their just a general sales line. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm not telling you very well.
Yeah, could you maybe just rephrase that? Actually, the connection dropped out a little bit there as well.
Oh, sure. A way to accept sales, like for souvenirs and stuff like that. If something like that could be integrated into the Roomzy platform, so
Sales of souvenirs, like if somebody buys something in a gift shop or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is a little bitty facility, so we wouldn't have a separate checkout for that kind of thing.
Right.
It's just a thought.
Okay. Got it. So the exact use case would just be if somebody's in the gift shop and they wanted to buy something, you would just input it into Roomzy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we do currently have the ability you can add charges for anything directly to the customer's folio. So you could set up a charge type as like,
oh, I know, but
gift
some
shop.
people come in here and buy things and they're not staying with us.
Oh, okay, got it. So the ability to add in a sale for somebody who's not a guest at the hotel.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, interesting. Yeah, definitely something that I can bring up with the team here, and we can see if we can come up with something for it.
That would be very beneficial for us. I don't know if someone else would want that or not. Obviously, it would depend on demand and stuff, but
yeah. Okay, got it. Well, yeah, let me look into it, and I can definitely get back to you on it.
That would be awesome.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time, Cindy.
Yes, sir. You have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye.